Like, but this isn't like people who say like, oh, the cop is being racist or whatever. I mean, the cop could be racist, probably is. Let's be real. But like, you want a cop to, if you're being stabbed and a cop is right there, you probably would want that cop to shoot the person who's stabbing you, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're literally in the process of being stabbed, like if someone was trying to stab me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Maybe I'm like not a good leftist or something, but if someone is literally wielding a knife and like trying to stab me and a cop rolls up and shoots the person, I'm kind of gonna feel grateful. It's one of the few instances where you're like, yeah, this is what cops are supposed to do. Like, this is it. This is literally what they're supposed to do as a job. Okay? She was literally getting jumped. What the are you on? Dude, but you don't know that, dude. But you don't fucking know that, dude. But you don't know that. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you literally don't know that. You don't know that. You're making that up right now. It might be true, but you literally are making that up. Okay? Right now, you are straight the up adding that context. Okay? It's not as clear cut as you make it seem, and it doesn't even matter because the cop has no clue that that's the case. It's like when motherfuckers will like watch every angle of a situation and be like, I can't believe you didn't know who the imposter was in this Among Us game. Well, you know because you're watching everyone. Son, why do you like cops killing black women? I mean, the inverse is also true for you then. Why do you want cops to why do you want one black woman to murder the other black woman? Because that's what was going on. It's not like it was a black girl murdering like a white girl or some shit. So I guess you want I mean, that's literally what's happening in the situation. Black on black crime. Now that's your take. What do you mean? What are these takes? That's what is going on. I don't know why you're getting mad at that. I'm not saying what about black on black crime, dumb. But that's literally what's going on. In the eyes of a police officer with his fucking getting on the scene, there is one person with a knife who is literally stabbing another person with a knife. What the like, what do you think? It was just like, yo, man, oh, this is sick. I can't wait to murder a black person today. Like, let me get in my car and wait for a 911 call so I can murder a black person. And then they get out of the car and they're like, oh, sick, finally, an opportunity. Like, what do you want, attention? Like, what the are you saying? There are motivating factors in this circumstance that literally make a cop feel less careful or make a cop act the way that they do. Quicker to react with a gun, quicker to react with lethal force. That's racism. That very much exists in every police altercation. We talk about this stuff all the time. Okay? Cops are not taught to shoot to maim. There is no shooting to maim option. Cops are taught to shoot to kill. You said cop is probably racist without any evidence? Yes, because I am racist against the blue, okay? I am racist against blue people. Blue man, the blue man group. Yeah, you caught me. I did say that. There's a 27-year-old black woman. I am conflicted by this one too. It's not as black and white as the others. Like, I mean, yeah. We watched 10 seconds of video. Motherfuckers are like, dude, actually, you don't know, but that's like, you know, here's the background information. They were actually in a minor altercation that turned into conflict. By the way, I'm not even saying that the other person is evil, by the way. I'm definitely not saying that. The other person is still a victim. She got killed by a cop, okay? So I need you to remember that. I'm not saying that the other person with a knife is like is still because I don't know. I don't know the additional context. I don't know what led her to have a knife on her to try to stab someone. Okay? But again, with the evidence that I have in my hands, with what I have said, we need you to remember that. Yeah, dude, I'm totally saying that the other person is evil. Why couldn't he taser? I really don't get it. It isn't the perfect time to use a taser because it's lethal force.
Hey, HasanAbi, just a thought. I know
a knife is not
is a cop in real life.
A knife is not a less than lethal weapon. A knife is a lethal weapon.
These items just to get his perspective
like it's that is like a part of police procedure that that only in like one of those, dude. It's literally probably the only instance where like it is. An understandable use of force. If not if you're holding a knife, okay? Not if you're walking around with a knife, but if you are literally in the process of stabbing someone with a knife, that is probably the only instance where it's it's going to be
Hassle.
it's going to be an understandable use of force or an expected use of force. You obviously don't spend much time handling knives. That level was low. Oh, sick, dude. I didn't know. Sorry. I didn't realize we had a bunch of sick knife handlers in the chat. Thanks, dude. I'll be sure to remember that when I'm getting stabbed in the gut. Are you sure it was not a butter knife? No, motherfucker. That does not look like a butter knife to me. It does not look like it looks like a chef knife. Like it looks like a knife, dude. I mean, it's not the greatest quality video, but this footage is much more clear. Oh yeah, that is actually much more clear.
We want to be as transparent as.
Sorry, I'm just gonna play it but not show it. I want to watch it myself. It's also the only, like, it's dog shit. The only information that you have,
Chat's rot today.
the only information that you have is like literally fuck. What the fuck? Okay, the full video is hella chaotic. Actually, honestly, the video makes it never mind. Watching the full video, it changed my perspective a little bit. Anyway, I get why there is still a use of force there, and the cop is most likely not going to get into trouble for that one. But there is more opportunities. Like there's more he could do. It's still a gray area, but I feel a little worse about the like I'm not as confident with my original take. Lady in the pink was just standing there. No, the only reason why I say that is because the lady in the pink was like doing a good job defending herself. Shouldn't have come out so hot. I mean, I'm still saying it's a gray area, but only because the other girl in the pink seems to be defending herself a little bit better against the knife. But it is still a chaotic situation. Here come the people who are going to say, but it's still a gray area, and the cop is still going to get away with it. And KW, I'm wrong, but I won't admit it. Hasan Pikers is always wrecked. Okay, this is the worst part about these situations is that again, like long-term community members straight up want me to have a take on a situation that resembles their own. They've made up their minds. They're probably in the wrong, but it doesn't matter. And then they get upset. And when I say, "Hey, this is a situation where my opinion might change because I don't have enough context," they're like, "I want you to look at this. I want you to know the information in advance. I want you to give me the take in advance. And then also on top of that, if you ever change your mind in the process, I'm probably still going to make fun of you because I'm a delusional, brain dead idiot who just wants to argue on the internet and don't actually care about the causes that I want you to talk about or the values that I espouse. That's it. Okay? So going forward, I'm just not going to cover this shit ever again. How about that? Ultimately, it still doesn't matter because I do think that it's a chaotic situation in which a cop gets out of a squad car, sees a person literally in the process of stabbing someone, and then shoots them. That is what a cop is supposed to do. It's entirely different than like a person that's walking. It's entirely different than a person that has a knife in their hands. It's entirely different than a person who has a knife in their hands and are walking towards the cop itself even. Okay? Ohio has a stand your ground law, so no matter what the situation, if a girl was attacked, she shouldn't have been killed by the police. She was defending her rights within the law. And how messed up do you have to be to think that a literal child is going to stab a girl to death in broad daylight in front of a witness? Stop searching for reasons to make this okay. I mean, dude, what do you think is happening here, dude? Do you want me to play it again? Like, what do you think she's doing? Like, what do you... I'm sorry, but like, what do you think she's doing, dude? Like, do you want... This is a traumatic video, but do you want me to... Do you want to watch it? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't mean that that girl is a murderer, by the way. What means is that girl could have very clearly been doing this for self-defense. I'm so confused as to what you're saying when, like, I mean, look at the situation. It's not like she's trying to have a argument with the... She's not like, hey, let's have a debate about this knife that I have in my hand. I guess the only instance is, I mean, you saw the 9/11 calls. You heard the 9/11 calls. Okay, cops or anyone... hold on. with like someone else is saying cops want to go on about how brave they are for putting their lives on the line, but they put 4 shots into a girl with a knife immediately. But he's not at risk here. The reason why he shot wasn't even his own life. The reason why he shot was because he thought he was defending someone else's life. I'm so confused by this, dude. The cop wasn't at risk. He didn't shoot because he was in fear for his life. He shot because he thought another person's life was about to be taken and he stopped it from happening. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. Like, cops don't have a duty to defend other people. What? That's literally their job, dude. What the f are you saying? That's literally their only job.
You guys can't even agree on
That's the one thing they're supposed to do.
LOL.
Are you f***ing stupid? What are they supposed to do then? What the f***? Yo, people are crazy. Okay, we're done. We're done with the story. We're done with the story for now. We're done. Guys, just because a cop's legal, there is no legal requirement for a police to care about your safety or whatever, despite the fact that they say they're there to protect and serve, doesn't mean that, like, in theory, that is what cops are supposed to, like, that's what you're supposed to do. The right thing to do in a situation where you're a cop is, like, when you see someone with a knife about to stab someone, you stop that from happening, okay? And depending on how close the situation is, you try to stop that from happening with your gun that's out.
We want to be as transparent.
Anyway, okay, we're done for now on this story. This is like, I don't know why people are, I mean, I understand why people have like a very, very strong take on this, but this is not like, is gonna get us the New York City subway cop effect where that guy got from a knife attack while cops watched the stabber ran out of steam. I don't get why you don't shoot to maim, because shooting to maim is most likely in a lot of instances going to kill the person anyway. It's harder to shoot the maim because you're supposed to hit center mass and hit as much as you can, because the idea is if you ever have that chatter has the legal standards backwards, they can't be held liable for not protecting, but it doesn't mean that they won't. It's easier to miss when you're trying to shoot the maim, and also cops can't even make up their minds on a really supposedly really high standard that are supposed to exist, a really high standard that's supposed to exist for like shooting to kill to begin with. Like, it's not like the movies, you know what I mean? When you shoot someone in the leg, you could kill them very easily because there's arteries, right? They'll bleed out and die, but also they might not stop. That's the other problem. Like, they might literally not stop when you shoot someone in the arm, because it's not like the movies. They might not stop. They'll still die in the end, and they might not stop in that moment because of the adrenaline. Which is why cops shoot center mass, they aim for center mass, and they unload.
It has been
That's why they don't aim for the head either, by the way, for the record, for those of you who don't know. Like, there's no shooting the knife off. Chat wants to say that you don't want to admit you're wrong, but they're literally doing the same right now. Be like, why doesn't he shoot the knife off of his hands? Bro, do you know how hard it is to shoot like that? Motherfuckers think they got the Deadeye from Red Dead or VATS, like in Fallout. Bro, these guys literally can't shoot for okay? Most of them shouldn't have guns at all. Like, most of them literally should not have guns. That's my position. Most cops should not have weapons, okay? If cops weren't such murderous sickos overall as a part of their job, you would probably look at this case with less emotion and try to genuinely understand what is going on here instead of immediately reacting in the way that you're doing and drawing lines. But there is understandably absolutely zero faith in cops doing the right thing in these situations, especially when it's like, especially when it is an incident where a cop is being violent. So you have this point of view. So I get where you're where you're coming from. And it's a tragedy regardless. Like, listen, any instance where someone shoots and kills a 16-year-old is disgusting. I mean, I had the Adam Toledo point of view that I had for the reason that Adam Toledo dropped their gun. They were running away from cops, and he dropped his gun. 13 years old. This is a 16-year-old who may or may not have called the cops to defend herself, and was trying to defend herself. And when the cops showed up at the wrong time, saw her as the actual aggressor rather than the victim. Okay? And we don't know. We don't know yet. He threw it and turned in one motion. It's not as clear cut as you're saying. Oh, dude, it doesn't matter. He's running. He has a gun, but he's running away. And he's not like, if Adam Toledo, 13 years old, is being chased by cops, has a gun in his hand, literally puts the gun up at someone else, and a cop shoots them, I would have a different point of view than the one I have right now. If you guys don't recognize what my POV is in this situation, or you don't understand where I'm coming from in the way that I analyze police shootings, I'm just going to let you know right now. I don't have a 100% like in every single circumstance, cops should never shoot another person ever take. I think you guys are a little confused. There is a gigantic difference between a 13-year-old running away, throwing their hands up and complying with police demands and getting shot versus a 13-year-old who has a gun and like literally pulls it at someone and is aiming to kill them, or even shooting in that direction because it's a knife. I'm trying to make a one-to-one comparison here. Like a knife stabbing is similar in that instance as like a kid trying to shoot. That is an entirely different situation. An entirely different situation in which police taking a lethal course of action could be justifiable. Stun guns do not work in the way that you think they do in movies. Motherfuckers think like tasers work in the way that they do in movies, where you shoot something, like you spit out a dart and just it hits someone in the neck and they pass out immediately. The fact that so many subs sign into their alt to bash you for not agreeing with them is scary. And it happens.
Love you, Hasan.
Are warning shots not a thing? No. Anyway, look, sometimes I'm going to have takes that you're not going to agree with. It is literally an insanely tragic situation, regardless.